Iga is unhappy, Carlos is unhappy, and I'm sure that there are a lot of other players who are unhappy with the tennis calendar and how it has become too overwhelming in the past few years. There are too many mandatories and not enough rest for the players, which impacts their quality of play, and as a tennis fan, I do not like seeing the best in the world bow out in the big tournaments because of the accumulated fatigue throughout the season. And I'm not making this video just to yap about it without presenting a solution to this problem. In this video, I will present to you my ideal tennis calendar. Oh, and I'm making these changes based on the ATP calendar, but you can easily correlate that to the WTA tour, just swap the names of the tournaments, I guess. But my first big change in the calendar structure would be that there would be no mandatory tournaments, cause simply put, I think basically forcing players to compete in the tournaments is stupid and it doesn't bring any positives in general. Cause if the calendar was good, there would be no need to force anyone to compete at the tournaments. The second change would be that there would be weeks in the year that are solely dedicated to the Challenger Tour. I think that could bring more eyes to the lesser known talent, as the Challenger Tour matches are very easily accessible. The third and the biggest change would be that the amount of 1000 tournaments would decrease from 10 on the WTA Tour and 9 on the ATP Tour to just 6 1000 point tourneys in a season. But the history books, the records, what about them?
We don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care.
Old players had to use wooden rackets and modern players will have less Masters tournaments. I guess every generation has its handicaps, and maybe with this change people would start actually watching tennis and won't just count the number of titles their fave has won. Still, I think having 10 important tournaments in the season is more than enough, and fans will look forward to the big tournaments even more, cause sometimes less is more. But obviously, if I'm reducing the amount of 1000 tournaments, you must be wondering which tournaments am I going to kill off in my ideal tennis calendar. In order to figure that out, let's go through the current 2024 schedule so that I can show how different it would be in comparison to my ideal schedule. Let's start positively. I like how January is scheduled. 2 weeks of nice little warm-up tournaments before the first major of the season is good. No need to overdo it. But also, players cannot go in cold into the Australian Open. After that is done, we are moving on to February, which is the month that probably pisses me off the most. First of all, there is no need to have 3 ATP tournaments in a week. Challengers are there for a reason, so with that being said, until the next Masters tournament, the tour is going to continue playing solely on the hard courts. For week 6 is Delray Beach and Marseille, week 7 Rotterdam and Los Cabos, week 8 Acapulco and Doha. And then we are at the week 9, which is where Indian Wells is going to be played. Oh, and by the way, we are done with this woke nonsense. All of the 1000 tournaments will be 1 week tournaments. Fuck your revenue, you all have enough money either way. And then after Indian Wells, there is no Miami Masters. The tournament is done. Finished, arrivederci, see you never, cause after they changed venues the tournament kinda stinks. I guess there will be no Sunshine Double opportunities anymore, but only people who care about that are the statistical nerds, so it is what it is. Therefore, week 10 is strictly for challengers. In week 11 there would be a chance to play a 500 tournament in Dubai, but most importantly the next 3 weeks will see the tour move to South America. Week 11 Dubai and Santiago, week 12 Houston, but more importantly Buenos Aires, week 13 Marrakesh, but again more importantly this will be the finale of the Golden Swing and obviously it will happen in Rio. For week 14 the tour will move to Europe, where there will be 2 250 tournaments in Estoril, and in this ideal world Naples Challenger gets upgraded to a 250. After that it's Monte Carlo Masters, and following that is a Challenger only week. Week 17 sees the tour in Barcelona and Munich, week 18 Banja Luka and Gstaad, and on week 19 I'm here to break y'all hearts because I will say something that some tennis fans might not like, and is that I hate back-to-back Masters tournaments. So in this instance there is no Madrid Masters tournament anymore. Week 19 is where the Rome Masters will happen. Again, it's only a week-long tourney. Week 20 Geneva and Lyon, week 21 is challengers only, week 22 and 23 is where the French Open is planned. After the second Grand Slam of the year the tour is moving on to the grass court, specifically Hertogenbosch and Stuttgart. Week 25 will see Halle and Mallorca, cause the week after the first Masters tournament on grass will be played and it will happen in London. The next week is for challengers only, and that's how we arrive to the best Grand Slam of the year, Wimbledon. Following that there will be some some clay tournaments played: week 30 Hamburg and Bastad, week 31 Atlanta, which is a hardcore tournament, and Kitzbühel, week 32 Washington and Umag. If we are going by the old calendar, this is where the Montreal Cincy back-to-back would happen, but as we all understand by now, this is not something that will happen in this ideal calendar, and that is why Cincy is getting eliminated from the calendar. There are a lot of tournaments in the US either way, and the majority of the players are not huge fans of Cincy, so I'm doing them a favor in that regard. So week 33 is Montreal/Toronto, week 34 Winston-Salem, week 35 Challenger only, week 36 and 37 is for the US Open. After the last major of the season, everything is great until the Paris Masters. In this ideal world, there is no Paris 1000 tournament because it's unnecessary. Venues are bad, players get mad about late finishes, and Paris already had a huge tournament. They don't deserve the second one. So moving Metz and Stockholm to week 44 and ATP finals to week 45. Davis Cup stays at week 47. So this is the full year schedule from yours truly. 4 Grand Slams, 6 Masters, however the fuck 500 tournaments and 250 tournaments, but most importantly 100% happiness for everyone. But if you do disagree with my decisions, then let me know in the comment section down below, or you could just take it easy, my friend.